Hi everyone, it's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Now today I'm bringing you a new game mode that I've come up with myself. I'm calling it Geoguessr, and here is the premise, okay? Basically, I'm going to be playing a normal diverse world map, no moving, and when I've come up with a guess, I'll then pinpoint the guess and move on over into Google Maps, where I'll go on Street View. Say I picked somewhere in London. I'll go into Street View, and I'll check out the exact place where I've picked, say over here in Street View, check it out, see if it fits, and then I'll use any clues I can get from where I thought it might be to determine where I'm actually going to guess. So I kind of get two guesses, if you get what I mean. So we'll see how it goes. I've not even tried this at all, but I hope it's at least somewhat fun, and you know, maybe if it is, I'll have to make a thing of it. So I think we'll play a bit of diverse world first, and then a rural world, and see what it's more fun with. And yeah, I say without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to be playing, of course, no moving, with no time limit. Okay, so the first one, we appear to be out in the middle of nowhere. I like this. This is going to be a good one for the first round. We have a Corona Extra ad here, so looking likely to be Mexico. We also have a short number plate. Definitely could be Mexican scenery here. So I think we get in here and we pick somewhere on the map where we might be, and then we compare it. So the road is kind of running a bit northeast here. Kind of feels like it might be out here somewhere. I'm definitely thinking that this kind of stretch of road here is possible, but it's a bit more of an angle, so perhaps over here. Do we have any hills? No, it doesn't really feel like Baja California, not enough hills. So let's try this road here, and we'll go into Google Maps, and we will check out that exact spot where I put my marker. So that was on this road here. So let's see if this one at least kind of fits. No, so this one is much too green, and also the road quality is much different. So if we head back over here, we can see that it's a lot different of a road here. So let's move our guess perhaps out this direction here. It's maybe still too hilly. What about this? Okay, this one might work. So I think I'm going to move my guess out here, and now that we're right in the middle of the desert, let's see if that helped or not. And no, it was actually on Baja California, so it hasn't actually helped my guess out, apart from letting me know that it definitely wasn't over here. So I don't know, I think that was a successful pilot round for this new way of playing, and I say we move into the next one. Okay, so this one is looking like Europe, could be the US. Okay, so we're at a railway track here. Not really helping that I'm not quite sure which country this will be. Thinking probably like Luxembourg or Belgium or something like that. Is it hilly? Not particularly hilly, so maybe more likely to be Belgium for that reason. But yeah, I'm not really sure where I'm going to guess, but let us go in and place a marker somewhere. So I want to just check out what it's looking like over in, let's say we'll do it near Amel. So I'll just place a marker there, and let's go back out and over to the lovely country of Belgium and check out what it looks like around Amel. So Amel was about here, wasn't it? Here it is. So let's go to a side street here and check it out. So, this is definitely a bit hillier than what we want. But to be fair, we don't have many clues back over here either, so I'm not even sure if we're in the right country. Let's compare it though. Yeah, it does at least look somewhat similar. We've got a brick building over here as well. That might support our Belgium theory. Definitely could be Netherlands as well, actually, because it is so flat over here. So maybe I will actually switch my guess over to the Netherlands because of what we saw in the last round. So let's go over the border right here. And yeah, it was the Netherlands. So who knows if that was just me thinking a little bit harder, or actually the new technique that we've got going on here, the Geoguessr. But that was a successful round, and we continue our country streak as well, so that's nice. Okay, so next one. We have Turkish Bollards here. Okay, this is good. This is the exact type of round that I think this game mode will thrive on. So we've got some hills over to the northwest there. We have, of course, Turkish Bollards, some hills down to the kind of the southeast as well. And we've got a long and big highway here. So plenty to go off of, and I think we should just get in here and pick a location. So it's pretty, yeah, it's not too hilly. Of course, there are big mountains, but not too many of them. So where could we say is a good place to check out? I think somewhere near the middle here. So what about Gurun? I don't mind that, and I think we should just check it out and see if that looks like the kind of area we could be at. So let's head on over into Gurun here. And where was it actually? Sorry. So that was near over here, right? So here's Gurun, and let's see if this looks similar to our coverage. So let's go over here. Okay, this is a bit too green. I think this is a little too green, although a very similar climate to be fair. So let's compare and contrast here. It's a little bit flatter in this one, and this one is a bit greener. So, but that could just be because we're near a river or something. This looks like it might be a river over here. So it's not too dissimilar, a little bit yellower. So for that reason, what are we thinking? I think it could be even further this direction, or even further south. But I'm not entirely sure. I might go maybe just, still so mountainous over there. Maybe just further south here. I think I like that best. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go further south of where I guessed, and let's see if it is correct. And okay, so we haven't really improved our score on this occasion, but we've still got a good score overall. Just checking out Gurun didn't actually help us, unfortunately there. But you know, it was not too bad. It was further south, so I'll at least say that. Okay, so not quite sure what country we are yet. We appear to be driving on the left-hand side of the road, so feeling like Borneo, perhaps, in probably Malaysia, but it could be Indo. We've got a little bollard there. Might be an Indonesian one, not sure just yet. It's a white car. We've got all these palms, so quite interesting. Orange sign there. Yeah, not really sure at this point. But let's go pick a spot where we should check out. So I'm thinking that this feels more like, just 1 second here. Just want to check over here as well. I think this feels more like the southern part. And we're kind of going east to west here, so why not something like that? Is it hilly? It doesn't really appear to be. So let's go on over here. We have guessed, it's just south of Mukar. So let's find Mukar and see if that will help us out a little bit here. Okay, so Mukar. And we're going to go south on this main road here. So let's check it out. Is this looking a bit similar? So we don't actually have palms here. That is concerning. We've also got the black car covering instead of the white car over here. So plenty of things to think about just now. Okay. Just looking at this number plate, it does appear to be a black one. We should, of course... oh, the sun is to the north, so we should be in the southern hemisphere. But yes, we're right on the equator, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Okay, so should really be with left-hand drive in Malaysia here. And can we glean anything else? We do have palms and everything, so yeah, feeling pretty good. It should be a similar type of thing. The dirt color here is kind of like an orangey soil, whereas over here, we don't really have too much soil. If anything, it's a little bit lighter. You can see there's a bit of white gravel over there. So, what does that mean though? I feel like it might be even further south. But, it's not easy to say. I think I'm going to go further south here, actually. Could be further north. Let's check it out. It was further north, so again, it hasn't really helped us out, unfortunately. But we still got the country streak going, so that's at least something to be happy about. And here is the final round. We have some Russian here, or do we? We also have a little bit of Latin lettering as well. And could this be a Hungarian flag here? I think so, maybe. So yes, we have Hungarian Bollards, and we should be in the lovely country of Hungary here. And the question is where? So we have a little bit of hilliness going on here. I wouldn't be surprised if we were maybe on the Slovakian border or something like that. So I think we should go check that out. I'm going to place my marker over here, just on the very border over here, I think. Yeah, on this border over here, because I can see some hills. Otherwise, Hungary is quite a flat country. So we'll go right on the border where Kosice, or however you pronounce that, is. So let's check that out and see if it is anything like what we want here. So yeah, I think we were Where are we? Yes, we're just about here. So let's check this out and see if it is a good match. Okay, so this is a little bit more rural. And we do actually have some sizable hills here. So maybe we're not quite so close to the border, but I still feel rather confident about this area of the world. It's a bit of a rare car here, the blue car with the short antenna. Anyway, so back to this. The buildings and everything look quite similar, and it is also maybe done with the blue car as well. Actually, you can't really see it, but yeah, it's actually making me think that, you know, just a little bit further down here, maybe in one of these towns here, could be a good shot. So I think that the Geoguessr technique has helped us to perhaps confirm that we're in this area. We shall see. Let's see if we are correct. And okay, so on the other side of Budapest, I would not call that a success, actually. Actually is a little bit hilly over here as well, to be fair. I was just going off what I knew, and I don't actually know that too much about Hungary. We end up with 20,000, so yeah, not a bad score. I mean, we got the right country every time. Yeah, let's move on to our next map, which should be Rural World. So let's check out if we can do any better on here. Okay, so first round of the game. We do have some eucalyptus leaves here, but of course we are not in Australia. This should be elsewhere, perhaps Brazil, and also perhaps Indonesia or Cambodia or something like that. I think Cambodia is a good shot. So let's think about what we have here. We have some palms. Do we have any bamboo? Because if I saw any bamboo, I would be feeling more confident about Asia. We have a little fence here. Oh, we can barely see that property. I think if we could see that house, we could establish which continent it's in. But as for right now, I do kind of want to see if we can find a similar looking place in Cambodia. So I'm going to place a marker. Where would be rather dry? I think right up near the Thai border. So let's place one right here and go on over and see if we can find a similar kind of rural looking road in that area of Cambodia. So let's turn on the man, the Google man here. Okay, so I think we can actually find at least a little bit of rural coverage, perhaps somewhere out here. So let's check this out. Okay, this is not too similar, unfortunately. Can we see any of the same trees or anything? Not really too sure here. This stubby antenna, maybe this is actually in the Amazon somewhere and not in Cambodia. I just have a sneaking suspicion that this looks more like an Asian structure, but it's really hard to say because this place where I've picked, it's not too similar, and I can't remember if they ever have this stubby antenna over in Cambodia, but at least the dirt color is not too far off. I still think I'm going to have to switch it, and I'm going to have to go over into somewhere in the Amazon here, I think. Maybe over here. This kind of seems like maybe more of a better guess. Let's see. No. No. Oh, man. It was actually just Cambodia outside of Phnom Penh there. So I think this Geoguessr technique, it worked at the start, but since then, it's causing me to second guess myself more than anything. But let's move on. There's still time for redemption yet, and before we give up hope with it. So here we appear to be what I would say is probably looking at this like river down here or something. I think this is going to be Peru, but it could be Bolivia as well. Actually, yes, it is going to be Peru because we can see that this sign has the black and white stripe on the pole. So that makes things much easier for us. So let's go in and think about where we want to place this one here. I think somewhere, let me actually think about this a little bit harder this time. I think it's going to be somewhere around here. And so I'm thinking of this mountain pass here on the Bolivian border. So let's go in, find that mountain pass on the Bolivian border and see if it matches, because it may not. Okay, so I will put my marker here and let's see if it is anything correct. So this is a lot greener. This is great to know. A lot greener than what we're looking for. and so we need to guess closer to the coast. So here is where it's actually coming in handy a little bit, guys. Okay, so that's 2 green. I still think this feels a little bit Atacama-like. So I want to guess maybe in this mountain pass here. We're actually kind of high up, so maybe on this one here, that would actually probably fit a little bit better. We're more in the desert here, and we should get a good score. I think this is the round where Geoguessr redeems itself. Okay, well, it's much better than if I had have gone up here, so that is at least something. We pulled 4,100 points, pretty good for Peru, and we learned something as well, so I would say that's a moderate success there. Okay, so next one, we've got the white car. Interesting sign there. This feels probably like Botswana to me. The road quality is rather poor for Botswana, but this speed sign probably says Botswana more than anything to me. Eswatini or South Africa are also options here, although it is rather flat. So, if I was thinking Botswana, I would probably be thinking somewhere in the north here, perhaps just south of this lake. So I think we go in, we check out something south of the lake in Botswana, and we see if it is looking correct. So, okay, so let's pick one. It's kind of like a side road like this. So let's check this out. Okay, so let's give these a comparison. This one's a bit more of a nice road, which is kind of what you more often see in Botswana, and the soil is redder. So let's go compare. The soil is definitely whiter over here, although not by a massive margin. Now I am thinking because of that we should be further south here, perhaps even in South Africa. Well, I think this is Botswana. So yes, I think we're just going to have to move our guess further south here, maybe out into some of these side roads out here near the capital Gaborone, and see if that is going to yield a better result. So let's check it out. No, again, we've just second guessed ourselves and gone in a much worse location here. I think this is just showing my first instincts are often more trustworthy. Anyway, so we have dropped quite a lot of points from where we would have been, and yep, this is not going as well as I would have liked, I have to say. But you know, you have to be honest, and the Geoguessr does not seem to be a terribly effective technique, at least for me so far. But be interested to see if you guys have any more success with it. Well, here we are in what appears to be Mexico. We've got lots of cacti everywhere. We have the stubby antenna. Pretty sure you can get that in Mexico. Can't remember though. Yes, we appear to be in quite a deserty spot. My initial thought is somewhere between Mexico City and Monterrey, so maybe near St. Louis, on these mountains here. So I think I'm going to go in and check, see how that looks. Not that it's been helping us too much, but I'm still waiting for one good round that I can say, yes, this is at least a decent technique. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I don't mind this. This does look fairly similar. You have to say, the amount of cacti and everything, it's looking at least somewhat similar here. So you can see all these cacti over here. The dirt color is pretty similar as well, I would say, actually. So we just need to pick somewhere off the main road and go for that. I think other mountains is tall. Yeah, the mountains are not quite as tall though, unless we're quite high up. So I think we go a little bit further out from the mountains, but in a similar spot. Just one more look. We might be further up as well. So perhaps... I'm really like not wanting to screw this up anymore. Okay, what about this kind of road here? Oh, I've lost all my confidence. This has been shattering, guys. And it's further south, so yeah, we've managed to get worse again. Mexico's tough, but I think you guys are getting the picture of what's going on here. So here is the final round. Any chance of redemption seems to be lost at this point. It seems like this technique is not as useful as you might have thought. I think maybe with a bit more practice it could be good, but yeah. So we've got some perhaps red lettering on this plate. I think that might mean we are in Belgium here. Not entirely sure though. It's Gen 2, so that would fit. So we've got just a nice green field. It's very flat. So perhaps... more closer to Netherlands. I think I'm going to place my marker somewhere near Lommel, and we'll see if that kind of has a similar look to it or not. And if it doesn't, I still might just trust myself anyway. Other rate things have been going. So here is a relatively rural place, and this is remarkably different, I think you'll agree. The trees are not similar at all. It's not to say we're definitely not in the area, but I'm thinking that we might be further away. This could even be Germany, to be fair, now that I'm looking at it. It is definitely old coverage. This could be Germany. So, yeah, this round is definitely just a lot different. Did not expect this one to be in Flanders of all places. It's really interesting. So I think we have to move our guess right out here. Maybe into Germany. Maybe into Germany. This is really interesting. Something about this does remind me of Germany, I must say. So I actually might move my guess to like Leipzig or Dresden or something like that. So why don't we do that? This is a bit of a limb, but let's do it. Okay, we were in Germany, so maybe, just maybe, this was a tiny bit of redemption for the end of the video. And there you go. So we got 14,000, and how I convinced myself that it wasn't Cambodia is one of the most disappointing parts of this, but it was fun, and it just worked better in my head. I think that is the take home of this video. But yeah, it was still fun, and I enjoyed making it, and I'll enjoy seeing what you guys actually think about this, because yeah, these are the results. Not fantastic, to be fair. The Peru one was perhaps the only success, I would say. Yeah, so that is it for the video. Thanks very much for watching, for making it all the way to the end, and I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Catch you later. Peace.